One of the biggest lessons that I teach my clients is that finding joy in every situation is so important. Today, I wanted to chat about how to do that when you're a parent. Parenting is an extremely difficult job. It is the hardest job, yet most rewarding and important job that I have ever had. It is full of challenges from day one, and we as parents often get sucked into the difficult and the hard of it. We find ourselves out of alignment, grumpy, stressed, overwhelmed, and exhausted. It can be so easy to slip into frustration mode where you complain and ride the struggle bus. So let's chat about that today. Let's chat about ways to retrain our brain so that we can find joy in that frustration and we can find ease and flow in our parenting. When we reach for something that brings us joy in all facets of our lives, we immediately shift our vibrational state, which will allow ourselves to become more aligned with the things that we do want in our lives versus the things that we do not want to happen in our lives. Joy gives way for patience. It creates opportunities, brings in new adventures or people to your life to help you live the life you'd rather be in rather than being angry at the life that you have created. I have become exceptionally good at doing this in most areas of my life. But until recently, I had to master it as a mother. Raising a human with different thoughts, emotions, feelings, and opinions on what's happening in the world can be a real eye-opener. As humans, we typically vibrate in a negative state the majority of the time. Think of times when maybe 2 or 3 bad things happened in your day and one really good thing happened in your day. What are the things that you're more likely to talk about that day? Usually, if you're at home with a partner, the things you talk about are the bad stuff. You almost immediately forget the good stuff that has happened. Your brain only really wants to talk about the bad ones. It gets laser focused on all the terrible things happening for you that it forgets the one great thing. And we all do this. We all do this in life, but we definitely do this when it comes to parenting. My son came home from school yesterday and he was covered in mud from head to toe. Even his nose was dirty. His brand new jacket and his brand new boots were caked in mud. And I got upset because those items were not cheap. And I felt like at 11 years old, he would be able to respect his things, forgetting what it was truly like to be an 11-year-old kid. The mud episode took me on a bit of a spiral into other habits that he has that I find myself angry about certain behaviors. And when I started to spiral in this mode, I suddenly found myself not paying attention to the good things that might be happening in that moment. Like how when he came home, he unpacked his bag. He packed up his hockey bag. He played with the dog without being asked. All things that I usually have to nag about, he just went ahead and did. But I still felt really stressed and angry and frustrated about the mud. that I totally neglected the one good thing that was happening in that moment. We do this a lot as parents. We are so exhausted from lack of sleep, decision fatigue, being everything to everyone in your household in any given moment, and not really having a moment to yourself. This leads us to feeling less than and having less than favorable coping skills. When you're living a life in lack and stressed state, you bring various situations into your life that match your feelings. For example, if you're angry, stressed, sad, full of fear, doubt, and worry, you're vibrating low and slow. Hence, when you feel these feelings, you typically are really exhausted and tired all the time. You don't have a lot of motivation to do anything. It's hard to find fun and joy in moments. And the reason for this is because when you're vibrating lowly and slowly, it actually sucks a lot of your energy from you. Low and slow vibrations bring in negative situations like illness, accidents, disagreements with spouses or coworkers. It also brings in situations with your children that you don't necessarily want to happen. Not seeing eye to eye, lots of nagging, the things that normally happen with a parent-child relationship. Now, let me tell you something. Most of us vibrate here, and it is absolutely unintentional. We don't even realize that we have other options. And because most of us vibrate here, we raise our children to vibrate here. Or we unintentionally squash their high vibrations. Think of times when your child or children were really hyper and really crazy out in public, and you try to shush them or keep them calm because you're afraid that other people are going to judge you or judge their behavior. The good news is that you get to choose. You can change in any moment of any day. But awareness is key. It's all about noticing how you are feeling and telling yourself you wish to feel differently or that you choose to feel differently. It isn't easy to go from really upset to joy, though, especially if you're just starting to try it out. So you need to find a path of least resistance to joy. And it might look like something like this. When I noticed how upset I was yesterday about the mud situation, I took 5 deep breaths. Big, full, expansive inhales. I hold the breath for 2 to 5 seconds, depending on how angry I am. And then I release. And I let it all out and inhale again. Hold that breath. Count to 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I release. And I do that again 5 times. And I decided, okay, I want to approach this differently. How can I see this situation through my son's eyes? Well, mud meant that he had a great time at school playing with friends. It means that he has friends. It means that he's liked, that he's easy to get along with. It means that he has a sense of belonging. It means that he knows how to play. It means that he's able to be active. It means that he's healthy enough to be active. It means that he feels safe enough in a home where he can come home filthy and know that he's still going to be loved, it means that I'm doing my job as a parent, as a woman raising a little man. It means that I'm doing a good job. And that made me happy. Yes, 5 deep breaths did all of that. It changed my perspective and it allowed me to feel the joy. I sure wish I had these tools when he was a toddler. It can be so draining to navigate that stage because toddlers often don't understand their emotions fully. They don't even really know what their emotions are. They just know how to express them. If you have a toddler and you're listening to this, who is discovering their voice and trying to grow a little independence, I see you. Take 5 deep breaths. Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath, suspend it at the top for 2 seconds, and release. And again, inhaling, exhaling. Repeating that 3 more times. Then take a step back and examine the behavior happening in the moment and where can you find the path to joy. Well, a tantrum with a 2 or 3-year-old means they're growing physically, emotionally, and mentally. They are learning how to express themselves. They're developing appropriately. They're healthy and they have determination, which will serve them well one day. There's so many other options to choose here that you may decide to choose. Maybe you look around the room and think how wonderful it is that we have a house and that we can share a space and that my toddler is safe in an environment where they're warm and they're clothed and they're fed. Or how lucky am I that I can stay home with them? Or how lucky it is that they get to go to a daycare and I get to be home with them in the evening, or whatever your scenario may be. Just start to find little elements of joy. Instead of thinking, oh, this is too hard, start to think about what isn't hard in the situation. And also try to see it through their eyes, what they might be experiencing. And this will help to allow you to change your perspective on the situation. I used to remind myself often when my son was at that age that this is temporary. This too shall pass, I would say a lot. Or, thank goodness this isn't every day. Or, thank goodness we had a great day up until this moment, which was usually bedtime and the witching hour, the chaos that starts when bedtime comes. But this too is temporary, or this is temporary, is a really great way to find joy. Nothing lasts forever. Not any situation will ever carry on forever and ever. So if that alone is the space where you can find the joy, then start there. I heard a great parenting tip once, and I apologize to whomever it was that wrote this because I forget who said it. But if your child, no matter the age, is upset or having a bad day, get them outside or get them in water. And I heard this tip later. My son was probably 6 or 7. I remember thinking, oh, I wish I had that when he was really little. But it works for any age, and it works for us too. Connecting to these elements, water and air and earth, bring our vibrations up naturally and pretty quickly. And let's be honest, who isn't happy splashing around in water, be it puddles or swimming or running through a sprinkler, or maybe you have a water balloon fight, whatever it may be, and also breathing fresh air. I always feel better after a walk, whether it's a walk around town or a hike in nature or playing outside in the winter on the ice rink with my son and my dog and my husband. When you get in from being outside, you feel a little more refreshed, a little more calm. And what's better than that? And playing with your kids, especially in water or outside, is a highly effective way to find joy. It also connects you back to that childhood spark within you when you get down on the ground and play with your children. Or if your children are older, like my son is older, 11 years old and up, playing games with them, board games, card games, or drawing. Maybe even you get down at their level and play video games with them. Practice finding joy today in any stressful situation. Try it with a spouse, try it with a coworker, maybe try it on the drive home, buying a coffee during the busiest parts of your day, wherever you feel a little bit of a heightened sense of stress or frustration. Reach for joy. Find something in that moment that can make you smile, that can bring you calmness, that can bring you ease. And try this technique often. And soon you'll find your outlook on life will be totally different. And you'll start to manifest more positive things into your life. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. This is the first video that I have published, and I am so excited to grow this community with you. I would really appreciate your support, and I'm so very grateful for you.